Today we're having a look at a couple lenses from VRROC. These are prescription lenses that you can throw into various different headsets. That bubble wrap makes an awful lot of noise. They make it for a whole bunch of different headsets, including some slightly older headsets that maybe fewer people now use, like the Quest 1, PSVR, CV1 Rift, various headsets like that. So today they sent me out two pairs of their headsets for the Index and the Quest 2. I don't know which of these is which, and I'm probably going to find out here soon. Now, quick disclaimer, they did send this out to me to review for this video, but they did not pay for a positive or negative review or anything like that, so any words and thoughts that I have are completely my own. In addition, if you want to go and check these out for yourself, I'll have a link to VRROC down below so you can go and check out these prescription lenses for yourself. With that, let's go ahead and have a look at these lenses here. So let me go and break this out. So it just looks, get rid of that wrapping there. It looks like they just come in like these little, inside these little carrying cases is what they look like. Let me go and get this. Just looking at the cases, these actually feel pretty sturdy. Obviously they're not going to be sitting in your case the entire time. You're probably going to end up having them in your headset most of the time. So I feel like, at least for most prescription lenses, this is my first set of prescription lenses. I have some for my Index that are a little bit outdated. I feel like the cases, while they are a nice touch, typically aren't necessary unless you're constantly getting new prescription lenses for your headsets. Or maybe you share them with, or maybe you share your headset with family and you may be taking it in and out quite often. Okay, I think these ones over here may be for Quest 2 because I am seeing a magnet on them. And I know that's something you typically see more often with Quest lenses. So these are the lenses themselves. Now I do have to say these are pretty nice, especially compared to the ones that I've used previously. Like I said, this one I'm pretty sure is the Index, and I can only tell by the shape of the attachment on our lenses here. So this one I know is the shape of the Quest 2 lens, and this one is Index. And I do know because I've had to take on and off the Index lenses quite a few times. I've grown quite familiar with that shape, and I actually do have. So a little comparison. So these are my older Index prescription lenses. Immediately there's a couple of very, very noticeable differences. First off, the plastic that actually holds the lens in place on this older one is quite a bit rougher compared to something like this one from VRROC. So this one from VRROC is definitely quite a bit smoother, which is definitely something I like. It definitely makes the overall product look quite a bit cleaner. The other thing I noticed, and I'm not sure if this is going to be a huge benefit or not, but the overall shape is drastically different. These older prescription lenses and this one from VRROC. This one, the lens actually takes up more area than on these older lenses. You can actually see, if I like put it right over there, you can actually see that we have quite a bit of room on this older on these older prescription lenses that's just kind of there to hold the lens in place. Now this one for the Quest 2 is also quite interesting. So this one's actually got some magnets. Like I said, I don't know the exact reason why only Quest 2 lenses seem to get these magnets. Now, a little thing that I'm curious about, it's definitely more noticeable on this left lens here, and I am a little bit curious about, you can actually see there's a bit of a gap here, like the shape of the shape of our grip that goes on the Quest 2 does not quite match up with the shape of our lenses. I'm a little curious as to why. I can see something similar with this right one as well, but it doesn't look quite as noticeable. So I'm curious as to why it is that our lens piece is a little bit smaller around this corner than it is than the magnetic piece that goes under our Quest. So let me go ahead. I have my Quest 2 and the Index. We'll start with the Quest 2. Let me go and move the Index ones out of the way, and we can go and have a look at these. In case you've never installed prescription lenses or anything, it's actually quite simple. Typically, you want to take out the face piece here. This tends to, more often than not, just get in the way when you're trying to install lenses. I just find it's easier to get all that out of the way, so you're just looking at the lenses themselves. And then you can actually see here, just barely, it's not very noticeable. It's not very noticeable, but you can see there's a little L here on this piece, and on our On our other lens here, we have an R in the matching spot in the opposite, on our opposite lens. So something I didn't realize, I don't know how I've never noticed this. The Quest 2 actually has on each of our lenses, let me see if I can show that somewhat. It actually has on each of our lenses like some little grooves that, like on 3 different corners here, that it looks like it's actually kind of meant for something like this, for you to be able to attach something like lenses. And if you actually look too at the at our magnetic piece, it actually has like a couple like slight notches that are meant to fit into those grooves. So I'm a little curious. I don't know how I've never noticed this. I know the Index doesn't have anything like quite like this. It's purely based off of like you forcing it on there through friction. I never noticed that the Quest 2 had this. This is honestly really nice. Oh yeah, there's an immediate change in what I'm able to see. So I'm actually nearsighted. I can't see very far without seeing some blurriness. Like my laptop that I have sitting here, it's a little bit outside of my view range. The camera, for example, with the little preview window on the side there, I can barely make that out. Now, the one thing I will say, you're probably still going to want to use the glasses spacer. The prescription lenses themselves, they come up and press up against your nose here. And I can feel a little bit too on my eyebrows here. So you're almost certainly going to need to use that that glasses spacer, which is a little bit of a bummer. Ooh, pop that off. All right. So yeah, that looks much clearer. Unfortunately, this isn't something I could really show just because it's going to be different for each person. It's going to be really dependent on if you even need a prescription. So, but I can immediately tell this looks so much clearer. So the Index is kind of a different one. I find that a lot of these kind of wired PCVR headsets are immediately, like I said, when I was putting on the Index, one of the first noticeable things is that you don't have any sort of notches or anything to attach into. You're purely throwing this in and like just squeezing it on there and hoping that friction holds it in there. And that's about it. So let's go ahead and have a quick look here. I'm a little curious though if I'll be able to get away with having my my headset a little bit closer. So one of the nice things is that this is a little bit easier throwing because all you're doing is just pushing it down on there. So that's pretty nice. The left one actually has an L right here on the inside of our lens here. This actually faces towards our nose piece, and I already threw on the right one. Let me see if I can. Ooh, that held on pretty decently. And our right one's got an R to signify that that's for our right eye. So, oh yeah, so that's interesting. So, something to keep in mind. I don't know how many people this is going to be an issue for, but because of the way that these lenses are, you can't bring the you can't bring your IPD all the way to the bare minimum here on the Index. If you're going to be using these lenses, you're going to have it a little bit out at least. But if you have it like all the way to the minimum, you can't fit them both on there. They kind of rub up against each other. Right up here at the top of our nose piece here, it looks like. Just kind of a disappointment. Now, for those of you guys who are curious, you don't wear any prescription lenses, or you just don't really see a need for something like this, there certainly can be a need for something like this depending on you specifically. Obviously, you're not going to need prescription lenses if you don't have if you're not nearsighted or farsighted or anything like that. But these lenses do also come with blue light filters and anti-glare filters, and I think the more important one out of those two is the blue light filter. For those of you guys who are unaware, blue light is known to affect things like your circadian rhythm. So there is definitely a use even if you don't use any sort of prescription lenses. But obviously you're not going to need them specifically because you're blind, like a lot of people are probably going to find uses out of something like this. So I think my headset is booted up. Let's go ahead and have a quick look at this now. I did have a look. According to SteamVR, we're still able to go down to the minimum 58 IPD adjustment. So I guess there really isn't much of a change there. Like I said, it did look like it was hitting it in the top, like up at the top corner, which is a bit unfortunate. if you're trying to, if your eyes are particularly close together like that. The other thing too is, yeah, you're not going to be able to bring that quite, much closer to your face. It actually starts hitting me right up here. Yeah, I mean, this looks fantastic. It's exactly what I would expect out of the Index. I'm not having like any significant issues or anything. Being able to see, I can still, of course, see everything just fine. Actually, if I go and open up the desktop, I have some text scrolling here. Yeah, I mean, everything looks pretty fantastic. So overall, these lenses work fantastic. I have no major complaints looking at these. These both snap on and are pretty easy to get up and running. You just, for the Index, you simply just slide it on there and Friction does the rest. Quest 2, I'm actually pleasantly surprised that there are some little spots for the lenses to snap onto in order for you to actually attach those lenses. So I definitely really like that for the Quest 2. If you're looking for getting them for the Quest 2, that's definitely a huge perk of getting these with VRROC. And again, I'm really fond of these magnets. If you want to take out to something like a family gathering, it's really easy to just knock it off and let other people use it without having to worry about them being unable to see through your prescription. Index, something like the Index, you're obviously going to have a little bit more difficulty getting that in and out, but I mean, still, it's not a huge issue either. Only downside to using prescription lenses, and quite frankly, I've not found any sort of prescription lenses that don't do this, is that you're obviously going to have either a glasses spacer or an FOV slider turned all the way down, so that way your headset is a little bit spaced further from your face if you don't want that pressing into your face, which is a bit of a downside, but like I said, I haven't found any prescription lens manufacturer that hasn't had this issue. So it's kind of an unfortunate side effect of any prescription lens, unfortunately. But overall, I think that these are fantastic. If you do happen to wear glasses, I definitely recommend something like this over wearing your glasses. There's a lot that can go wrong with glasses. They can scratch up against your lenses, and they can also, it can sometimes be a bit of a tight fit. I know I have that issue with the Quest 2. My glasses just feel really tight when they're fitting in the Quest 2 headset. So if you wear prescription lenses, those are fantastic. If you don't wear prescription lenses, it's still worth looking into for adding in something like a blue light filter or an anti-glare filter, if that's something that you're looking for your headset. So if you enjoyed this video, if you did, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below. And like I said, I'll have links to VRROC down below, so you can go and check out these prescription lenses for yourself. With that, I'll see you in the next reality.